superstars, and g'day to our lace outlaws. It's Peps, it's J-Dog, and we are here for the round 2022 season review. Season review? Round review. It's a hard one to say, J-Dog.
You're jumping ahead, mate.
I am jumping ahead. That's a round 2022 review. I'm the host, Chris Pepper, 377 game superstar of these Killer Football Club. And with me, the co-host with the most. You know him as J-Dog. I know him as the great man. I know him as Jamie Wallis. We're here to bring you everything after another ball-tearing round of football. 3 weeks to go. Footy trip start in 3 weeks, J-Dog.
They start now.
They start now in your case after what happened to your mob. I'll tell you. Tell me what happened in the Wallis household in just a moment. But we have got a chock-a-blocker show.
Mm-hmm.
We're going around the grounds. We've got the ladder. We have got something that I've been promising for weeks. And let's just say it. It's something to do with bags.
Okay. All right.
There's going to be some bags. There's one bag kicked on the weekend, and I've introduced something that's going to really rock your socks. We're going to chat about all the games, trade news, Rising Star, all of that jazz. We're going to spend the next hour together just talking about the great game of AFL football because you know what? It's lace out. It's how you want your footy. But before we do, I'm going to ask the great man, welcome very much again, sir. And hopefully you had a cracking weekend outside of Port going down against the Pies.
Yep. I had a great weekend, Peps. I raced my bike again.
No smashes?
No. I picked up a win. I picked up fastest time and overall and a couple of little prizes. So I walked away with a bit of cash and some stuff. And
you like a pro race?
No. Just
like a bet between mates?
No, just a bunch of mammals, mate. Just a bunch of mammals. Middle-aged men in Lycra.
We love it.
And what else? Peps. Footy, as you said. We'll talk about that later. And not a whole lot more, Peps. Not a whole lot more. How about you?
Oh, mate, great weekend. Watched the D's on Friday night with the local footy. It was like a past players unofficial get-together. So that was great to catch up with all the boys. Haven't seen a number of them for quite a number of years, so it was good to catch up there.
I did see you with who was there? You in a photo of
Mickey Gill.
Yeah, it could have been. You're on. Someone posted it. Yeah.
Yep, me and Gilly had a good chat. He's down at Hillside. He's come back for a couple of beverages. Been in a good paddock, let's be honest. And then Saturday had a hit of golf with the boys down at Yarra Bend. Great course, that one. A little bit hilly. Let's just say I was a bit rusty, body-wise and golf-wise, but it was great to get out there and just enjoy nature at its finest. Cold in shorts, waterlogged shoes, and a subpar round.
Oh, wasn't it cold on Saturday?
It was cold. It was fresh, and I was still wearing shorts. Let's just say that.
You are a silly man. Knee-high socks, though, obviously.
I'm hardcore. No, I'm just hardcore. Do you know what's also hardcore, J-Dog?
What's up?
3 rounds to go in the AFL. And the ladder, my friend, we're going to start with that straight away because it's, as I would say, it's getting tight, very tight at the top, very tight in the middle, and very, very loose at the bottom. If I was going to channel my inner lethal weapon too with the diplomatic community. So, Geelong at the top, outright leaders, 135.5. They are your premiership favourite. Didn't they do a dog on the dogs on Saturday night? Don't know where it came from. They were cooked at quarter time. And boy, oh boy, did they come out after that.
Yeah.
Melbourne and Collingwood equal second and third. Play each other this week. Sydney Swans, they're climbing. Brisbane faltered again at the G, both of 52. And then you've got Fremantle sitting nicely in 6. I can't see any of the other teams making the top 4, so it's out of Melbourne, Collingwood, Sydney, Brisbane, Fremantle to make the top 4, in my humble opinion. Jado, who would you say would be top 4 looking at the ladder at the moment?
That looks good to me.
So Melbourne, Collingwood, Sydney will be...
I think the other one maybe swap is a Brisbane, Sydney Swans.
Maybe.
But that looks pretty good.
I'm happy with it. Carlton, St Kilda. Carlton are in, but slipping. They would have turned up at Adelaide Oval going, hello, percentage booster here. Smacked. St Kilda back now. When they're in the 8, they're called Saint Kilda. When outside, shit Kilda. But they're back in, sitting at 8th. And I know there's a lot of Saint supporters will be saying false economy with them. Richmond are in 9th. Happy to see you. Haven't seen it for a while. Western Bulldogs had a blowout at the GMHBA Stadium. They were looking magnificent there for a while and just completely faltered. The Cholco Suns, 36 points. They still can make it. Tommy Roker is still pitching tents over them. He says they can still make it. We believe in Tommy. We believe in Tommy. We trust.
Give it up.
In Tommy, we trust. You just never know what's going to happen.
Come join us.
Adelaide on 32, Hawthorn on 28, Essendon on 28. Geez, aren't they teasing their supporters at the moment? God, what a cock tease they are. I'd hate to be an Essendon supporter right now. Adelaide Crows on 24, great win. GWS, where are they? And West Coast and North battling for the number 1 draft pick. West Coast could have actually pinched another win on the weekend. I reckon they tanked in the last 3.5 minutes to make sure that they would lose to keep their chances of getting Luke Jackson in the pre-season draft alive and well. Top 8, J-Dog, you happy with that at the moment? Can you see any ins? Can you see any outs?
No. The only thing that's going to change is 8th position.
8th position?
That's it. I think Carlton are going to stay in. And I reckon Richmond are going to go up.
It's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. Carlton play Collingwood in the last round, and they play Melbourne next week.
It has to, Peps.
They have to. No, they will fall out. They will fall out. Could you just imagine all Flagton? It was all Flagton in the middle of the year. Now it's Carl Tank.
So you reckon Carlton are going?
I reckon Carlton can drop out. They potentially lose their next 3. I don't know who they've got this week. We'll have a look at it in a moment. But I reckon they could potentially drop out. Could you imagine that? They were saying premiership favourites halfway through the season. No one else, Carlton supporters. Oh,
wow.
Geez.
Okay.
Messiah. Bossy. They're falling in a heap. Let's see what happens. It's interesting at the moment, footy. It's 3 games to go. And normally by now, everything's locked away. It's great. Best sport in the world.
Do we want to just talk?
Kelly wrestling, best sport in the world.
Do we want to just get into the games?
Can we just get in the games? You want to spin to Magnus or want to get in the games?
No, I just want to get in the games.
Let's get in the games. All righty, let's get in the games.
We might just skip spin the magnets. No, let's just get in the games.
No, we'll do the game. I've put a lot of work into the magnets this week, mate. I do it every single week.
Oh.
You just turn up and read the notes. Let's just get into the games, all right? Hey, round 20. Now, it all started on Friday night. And as Bruce would say, Viney. It was the D's by 46 points over the Fremantle Dockers, and the Demons came to play. Within the first 30 seconds, you could tell they were ball crunching. We knew it was going to be wet. They knew it was going to be muddy, and that's the way, they liked it. They were sensational. Jack Viney may not have the big C across his chest, but I tell you what, when 2 times this year Melbourne have really needed someone to stand up, he's been the guy. Happened against Brisbane when Gorn was out. It happened against Fremantle when they wanted to win. When the games get harder, he plays harder, and he was magnificent on the weekend. I don't know if you saw in the second quarter. He blind turn, bulk, oolah, handball, and it was just fantastic. I've got a feeling I believe a lot of people think he's underrated.
Who?
Jack Viney. I reckon other clubs would say he's a little bit underrated. Hey, listeners, viewers, right now, what do you reckon? But he was just sensational. His work on the weekend was just magnificent. 33 disposals, 5 inside 50s, 2 rebound 50s. Like, you had 120 fantasy points if you're into that sort of thing. Highest for the year. That's what more could you ask for? Well supported by Petrarca. Brayshaw went back into the middle, started first bounce of the year up against his brother, and that was awesome. So they were just sensational across back. When you have Petty, May, and Lever all playing together, it's going to be very hard to penetrate that back line. Salem was hitting his targets, which he hadn't done for a while. Hunt was running it out of back as well. Rivers was getting some run. Langdon. It was just an all-round performance. Spargo kicked a couple. Picker kicked a couple. Fritsch just does what Fritsch does. And that was awesome. Jake Melksham didn't really dominate the stat sheet with 11, but he just had that little bit of presence in there as well, a little bit of smarts, which I think that we need. I can see him probably maybe taking this week from he could almost play in a gating role this week, because if I have a look at Dacos, if I was Melbourne, I'd bring in Harms to put onto Dacos this week because he's just been dominating all year.
Yeah.
but I don't know how they're going to do that. So they're going to have someone as a negating role. That's normally Harms. That means somebody has to drop out. Then Brown will be back because Sam Wiedemann had one disposal, one kick, one goal.
Yep.
The entire game. So it wasn't that flash. I will say, though, how was it the oldest guy in the AFL racked up 35? Same as Will Brodie, a bloke that nobody wanted at Gold Coast. He's come across and just played sensational football. Andrew Brayshaw racked up another 30, 10 marks. I don't know what more that guy can do. And someone who really surprised me that night was James Aish as well. He had 28 of his own, held Clayton Oliver to 21, but it just goes to show you might be able to chop one head off the Hydra, but just another one grows out, which was Petrarca. So you can't stop all three. You might be able to stop one. Somebody else is going to take over, which is what they needed as well too. They got the win. They loved playing at Optus, and it was just a great game, especially after halftime, to stop them to 5 goals. Fremantle have got some forward issues. Tabernar didn't do anything. Lobb didn't do anything. And when the heat's on, they melted.
Well, like you said, Peps, one of their oldest guys in their in the team, Monday, 35-10 clearances, retires on Monday this week. Yeah. They've got to find someone to step into that role for next season. Absolutely has been a workhorse. So well done, David Mundy, retiring on what day did he retire, Peps?
Yesterday, I think.
On a Monday.
On a Monday, which was yesterday.
David Mundy retiring on a Monday.
Oh, you've been playing that one all. Oh, hold on, wait for it. Have I got it?
Probably not.
No, I haven't.
That's okay.
Hold on. There we go, J-Dog.
There we go. All right, so Peps.
Perspective, just from a disposals perspective, this just shows how hard it was for Fremantle to score. Melbourne took 29 disposals to kick every one of their scores.
Mm-hmm.
Fremantle 78.
Yeah.
They couldn't get through the defence. They went around, they tried. Melbourne just went back to what Melbourne was, which was really good to see. Hopefully, I say that again, hopefully they can do that against Collingwood this week. 20
more inside 50s than Freo. As you said, way more efficient across the ball. Freo looked like they were struggling with any. They had more marks and all that, but they were more side kicks and little chippy kicks. Yeah, I mean, it was a domination by Melbourne. Freo never looked near it or in the game at any stage.
No, they had 50 more disposals, yet Melbourne converted at 48%. Freo went at 35%.
Yeah.
That's not going to win your games, full stop, unfortunately.
So, Peps, questions have to be asked. Where's that leave Freo?
Finals, but outside top 4.
That's a bit of a shame since where they started.
I know.
Before the bye.
They are a young team. Did you see them doing what they've done so far this year?
Absolutely not. No. I think they've exceeded expectations.
I think I might have picked them for 8th or 7th.
Yeah.
But not to be top 4 for virtually all the year. So kudos to them. They're on the right path. If they get a Jackson next year, that's just going to add to it. If they don't, so be it. They've got Darcy there. They're in good hands. Fife will move on. That'll free up some salary cap space. Oh,
Mundy's done.
Actually, no, he's not done. He's not going.
No.
It's going to be a hard one. Where do you see Fife more like it?
I think Fife's done for the season. He's on ice now.
He's been done for the last couple seasons. Is he starting to get a bit of old man syndrome? Mate, he can't play midfield. He can't push off.
Don't know. Don't know where Fife.
I don't know. As Tommy Roker said, they were the wankers with anchors. They had a crack. They've got 3 weeks to get some form back because their last month has been pretty average. I think 3 losses and a draw.
Yeah.
Nothing to write home about. Hey, big boy, it was the Bo Derek game, part 1. And what I mean by the Bo Derek game, it was the perfect 10. And we're talking about the Pies by 6 over Port. I'll let you lead us through this one because your team against your wife's team. First of all, did the Wallis household survive?
We certainly did. In fact, I don't even think Aaliyah even watched the game, to be completely honest. I didn't even watch it live. I was helping my brother doing some stuff at his house, so I didn't even watch it live. I was watching it nicely. It had a bit of KO catch-up, and I was in the second quarter, and then my phone started to ring from my family, who are also my immediate family are all big Collingwood supporters, and I knew that we'd lost. Second quarter in, I was watching it.
To ring you outside the fact that you got smashed,
and I knew it as soon as I rang. I'm like, oh, that's it. We've lost this, and because we were up to our eyeballs in that game, that whole game, and then he did say, "Look, you lost all of that, but you will enjoy the game." And to some parts, I did. It was a good comeback, but it's a typical Port Adelaide game that we've seen for the last 7-8 years under Ken Hinkley. But Collingwood just get away with another one. It's incredible how much Collingwood get away with it. There's not too much to write home about.
9 less than 10-point wins.
Yeah.
The only one that they smashed was us.
Mm-hmm.
Yet most of those games have been against teams in the bottom half of the ladder.
Yeah.
What does that say? Does it say that they've been getting across the lower end teams? Or does it say that these guys never give in? Is it a bit of a combination too? Because their percentage at the moment, I think, is like 105%.
Yes, not much.
Or third.
Yeah.
There's teams outside the 8. I think Richmond might be one of them. Western Bulldogs definitely one of them, who have got much higher percentages.
Yeah.
Just haven't been able to get the wins.
No,
so they're not dominating teams.
No.
But they're not. Yeah, so they're sort of even Stevens. They're just getting the wins where they can.
Well, wins are wins. This is the industry. It's a win-loss industry. And the good teams just get across the line. You need a bit of luck. You need a bit of things to go your way to win a premiership. I'm not saying Collingwood are a premiership favourite. I'm just saying that they have an incredible amount of things go their way, which is credit to that club. I don't think we've ever seen a season like it where a team just seems to scrape across the line as much as you said. 10 wins this season, under 10 points or something like that.
Yep.
But geez, they're efficient. They're very efficient, Collingwood. Very efficient, very dangerous forward, and would not want to be playing them in September.
Interesting. Just having a look at like some of the disposal. Like you had Croc, you almost had 200 more disposals than they did.
Yeah.
So you got your hands on the ball. The inside 50 count, there was only 3 difference. Made a hell of a lot more clangers, let's be honest.
Our disposals.
Your conversion rate was a hell of a lot better than them. It was just you couldn't get the win. It was 1 goal. Like it wasn't bad kicking was bad football. It was 13-10, 12-10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were just clean what they had to be.
And the flip side to what Collingwood have been doing, Collingwood have actually gone the other way this week where they are in front and then they've let the other team creep in. Yeah. Where previously it's been other teams letting Collingwood creep in as well too. It's amazing. Jordan Ngoe kicks 2, has 23. The saviour's back. Have you heard the radio and the media this week?
Oh, I avoided them.
Give me a freaking break. I don't fear them whatsoever, to be honest. I look at them and go, you put them up against a Geelong, they'll get smashed. If they put them up a fully grunty Melbourne, they'd get smashed. If they put them up against I reckon a fully grunty Tigers, I reckon they'd beat them as well too. So I think they're very susceptible. Very susceptible.
It's an incredible 5 weeks though, Pep. Starting off with with GWS way back in 26th of June, 88-77. Then they had a small win over the Suns, 62 versus 67. All right. Against North.
Gold Coast should have won that one.
Yep. Against North, 88-81. They had a win over North.
North should have won that one, but they just fell away.
Adelaide, 91-86. And then Collingwood with the kick after the siren by Elliott, 80-76. And then this win for Collingwood again, another 1 goal difference.
So 3 of those 5 they should have lost, but they didn't.
Yep. And that's the difference.
It's amazing. A kick here, a kick there. Unbelievable. Tommy Roker's still going on about the Suns being screwed over by the umpires. You let them back in, Tommy. You let them back in. It wasn't the umps. All right? You let them back in.
I love it. I love his passion.
Never put the ball in the arms of the umpires. Like they say in the UFC, never leave a decision in the hands of the judges. Never leave it to the umpires. But Josh Dacos, he smashed it. Even from a goals perspective, it was spread all around. Jack Ginnivan, ducky. Again, hey, one of the things is he is being screwed. A week ago, I said it was the best rule that he's been caught out for. And then I've seen some head rippers, and they've let that go. Yeah. It's got beyond the joke, all right? And it's part of my drag this week is that particular rule. Connor Rosie, another 35. Ollie Wines, another 30. They reckon it was Zach Butters' first best game for quite a long time as well. Yeah. He had a couple. Carl Amon, 26, but he's out the door next year. Would you would you play him? If he wants to walk, would you play him and just get some games into another kid?
Probably. I don't hold a grudge against.
You're not playing finals, are you?
No, God no. No.
Don't play him. You don't
really.
Want to play
You're that harsh.
Yeah, if you're not playing finals, stiff shit.
Okay.
You want out the door? Here you go. Go play Waffle. Go play Samford for the next couple of weeks.
I like it.
What do you got to lose? Get a couple games into a young kid. You never know. You might have the next Chris Pepper on your hands. Rightio. Let's have a look at the next one where the OG reigned supreme. Swans by 73 over GWS. I said it a few weeks ago. They are my tip to make the grand final. They're playing some great football, but are they peaking too early, Jada? What are your opinion on the Swans? And then I want to have a little chat about the GWS because Mark McVeigh's comments were something that you don't normally see from an AFL coach after match press conference.
I don't know. I don't know what there is to talk about. It. Swans literally had the whole, like everything. Like what they scored over 100 points. GWS just looked like an absolute shell. They've got players there like Timmy Taranto. Like, what are you going to do with people like him? It was pathetic. It was a pathetic effort. They kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. They kicked 5 for the whole game, and they kicked 8 behinds for the rest of it. So 3 goals, 8 for the remaining 3 quarters of that game after the first. And the Swans slammed home over 100 points again by, I think, the third quarter. They reached that 100-point mark.
Yeah, they did. They had it at 3/4 time. They were 13-8.
Yeah. Okay. So not quite 100. So close to it. But
yeah, close enough.
What I don't know. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible. This team, the season they've had, the Giants. You'd think you'd show something, but they just look like they're done. Like, it's hard to speak from a mental point of view when you're watching a game of football, but they just look like they're done.
So you got like Errol Goulden.
Yeah.
He comes into his first game, I think it's his second season. He has a casual 33. Luke Parker, I think, is 34, and he wears 26 and is probably mid to late 20s. Still dominating.
Yeah.
Mills, gun. James Rowbottom, 13 tackles. He's having a cracker of a season. Then you got Blakey. Then you got McInerney. Then you go all the way down to the bottom, and you've got Josh Kennedy sitting on the bench, unused sub, like premiership star. Yep. Oh, we just got him just in case we need to.
Heaney kicking 3 goals.
Buddy just had a casual 3. Isaac Heaney does his thing, another 3.
Yeah.
The McCartan boys, Sam Reid, 18-3, best game he's played, and since he played the D's and dominated us a number of weeks ago as well.
Yep. They had over 100 more disposals than GWS. They had over 30 more inside 50s. Like, it just witches hats, mate. Witches hats.
But have a look at this, right? You get Josh Kelly, 25 disposals. Whitfield, 22.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hurt you. They're just cream.
Yeah. They're
not like, I'm scared of a Kelly. Kelly will never hurt you. Lachie Whitfield won't hurt you. Harry Perriman won't hurt you. Tom Green will hurt you if he tackles you and hits you. But outside of that, Tim Taranto, he's checked out. Hopper's checked out. Where does GWS go? Like, they've had their moment in the sun 3 years ago. Now what are they doing? Like, it's
full rebuild, full sweep of that club now. I think it's the point where we're at.
Have Gold Coast overtaken GWS?
I think you'd easily have that argument.
You had that question at the start of the year, who'll have the better year, GWS or Gold Coast?
I probably wouldn't have said Gold Coast.
There you go.
But this club just, I mean, the questions were on GWS at the start of the season. I mean, coaching, the whole back office support, the players who were walked, the players that still got on their list. We said that there was probably a time for a rebuild, and halfway into the season or 8 games into the season, and he walked. Land Cameron walked.
You lost by 73 points, and you still got out tackled 74-50.
I know.
So you're getting pumped, and then when you finally get your hands on the ball, they just swamped you.
Yeah.
They smashed them into clearances 43-34. They even had more clangers, City. They just had more of the ball. They're a highly disposable team. 121 marks. So they chip, get it into space, and then go.
Yeah, it's a dirty day.
So you've almost got to make them They chip around. They go the 45s. I don't know how you stop Sydney.
Well,
I really don't at the moment. They're playing probably the second best football in the league right now behind Geelong.
Well, I think Sydney also, I think their disposal efficiency was something around 71%, which I think is around 10% higher than what the league average is per game, roughly. Which means
they're not elite foot skills, full stop.
There's just no pressure. So the kicks, there's no pressure on the kick to make the kick miss or the handball miss. So when your efficiency is 71%, that's 7 out of 10 kicks or 7 out of 10 disposals hitting your mark. You're going to get carved every time.
Carved. That's all I can say. Carved.
Yeah.
Carved. And maybe they like the zone defence, but if you go 18 on 18, like Charlie Keegan said, maybe they don't like the pressure. That's what some teams are going to have to do, go 18 on 18 and not go zone.
Well, that's finals footy. That's finals footy, man on man.
We'll see what happens. Hey, the Saints are still sinners in my humble opinion because this team was sitting 8-3 at the bye, and now they're just scraping into the 8. But they did have a good win by 12 points over the Hawks. What do you say about this game? Like, is this a game that anyone really cared about unless you were these two teams? Because I didn't watch it and I had no emotional connection to this whatsoever. Like, it wasn't, who's got this one? I was like, mid-tier. Hawks, well, I think we're going for 5 in a row. Saints were just hopefully going to get across the line, and they did.
They just got across the line. They probably put the cue in the rack. I would love to confidently say that about the Saints, but I'm not convinced they put the cue in the rack. I just literally think that Hawthorn outplayed them in that fourth quarter and probably gave the majority of Saints supporter base heart attacks.
Heart attack. Well, they were 5.5 goals up at three-quarter time and ended up winning by 2.
Yeah.
Not good. And they kicked 10 goals, 15 and 9-9. So they've had 25-18 in the scoring shots facility. So they should have won by probably 4 or 5 at the most. But that's the Saints, isn't it? They are the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of the AFL. When they're on, they're on. But when you let other teams get in, last team, Buzzer's here. Buzzer's joined us, J-Dog. You know what that means? St Kilda must have won.
Yeah.
They were the last team to beat Geelong. Well, that's okay. Probably the last team that you actually beat outside of Hawthorn. That's how bad you're going there, Saints. They were just like Jack Steele's having – they keep talking about I know Jack Steele, but they keep talking about Jack Sinclair being an All-Australian off halfback. Have you seen that? Would you put him in the Sard, Brayshaw, Doherty type of category there?
Not based on what you just said. But, I mean, still making a squad of 40 is still pretty good.
Why? Why have a squad of 40? It's just a waste of time.
A squad of 40 of a team that will never play together against an absolute waste of time.
So you get picked in a squad of a team that will never be played. That is just a waste of time. Just name the 22. It's just a tease. That's it. It's all it is a tease, and you're getting let down for a virtual team.
Do you know what? I hope he makes the team because every team needs representation on that 22. Peps, that'll be nice, won't it?
No way.
You can't have all the halfback line to yourself with your team. With your team.
No, but you've got to make sure that you put the right people and make it a team. That's another question for another day in terms of the All-Australian team. Should it be actually a team? Like you put wingers in there, you put forward flanks, you put small forwards.
Well, let's talk about some of the positives. Peps, Rowan Marshall, career high 30 disposal game.
Oh, good on him. And 35 hit-outs as well. Did he do everything? 3 votes right there.
He can do it.
He can do it. Jack Steele had a good week. Brad Crouch, but Dan Hanbury came back 27, which is nice because he's only played 15 games in 4 years, so another good investment by the Saints, who are apparently into Degoe. Go for it.
I'm not against. Look. I don't know. This game was sort of whatever.
Put this on the chat or put this in the notes or put this on the comments page of this podcast. If you're a coach and you had the chance to pick either St Kilda to coach or Hawthorn to coach for the next 3 years, who would you go with?
Yep. So obviously,
who would you go with?
I would go. Did I ask the question again? Sorry, I was looking at the notes, looking at their best.
You could either choose to coach the Saints or the Hawks for the next 5 years. You get the I said 3 years, 5 years. We'll go to 5 because you need a 5-year plan. starting next year, you could pick any one of those two teams. Who would you go with?
Hawks.
I'd go Hawks. Exactly the same. They've got some cracking kids there, by the way. They've got some rippers. Morrison. Sicily just keeps getting better. Airbags, big boy McAvoy. Broken neck, comes back 14, 26.
Yep. Scrimshaw, Newcomb, we're going to talk about all that sort of players. I agree.
Just Kajitsky, Lewis, they had quieter weekends, but still.
So the best for St Kilda were Marshall, Crouch, Steele, Hanbury, Patton, Clark, Sharman, and Ross, which I think is, it was a win they had to have. They dropped that. I think they may have just fallen outside the 8. So they're doing what they have to do to be.
So why can they win these games against Hawthorn, but have such a bad run in the middle of the year?
You're asking the wrong person, Peps. My team is Port Adelaide. We don't beat top 8 teams.
Only if Charlie Dixon is not playing. We know about that one. All right. Hey, let's talk about this, the next one, which was the Bo Derek game. The Cats picked up their 10th win in a row. And if you looked at quarter time, you would have gone, what's going on here? 4 goals 3 to 1 goal 2. Cats couldn't get their hands on the ball at all. Doggies up by virtually 2 goals at halftime. You're thinking, could this be the win that the Dogs are going to get? Geelong came out after halftime and said, okay, no more piss farting around here anymore. We're just going to go out and kick 8 goals to 3 points. Total domination. 2
players responsible. Jay Cameron, T. Hawkins, chucking close, and Stengel for pressure.
Okay.
Amazing. This is the power of what Geelong have. These are the bombs that they can just unload on any team when they want to, and it's terrifying. Western Bulldogs were leading up until midway through that third quarter. Boom. Let's bring out our 2 big boys and let's just rip the game apart.
But danger. That was Patrick Dangerfield's best game by a mile all year. They've been saying they've been waiting for him. I still think honestly, tough as nails, good footballer, shocking kick of the ball. He's a shot. He's a hack. He's a hack.
Yeah.
He's not a great kick.
Terrible kick.
Right. But he had 26, 6 inside 50s. Isaac Smith, once again, older bloke running on the wing, 26 and 4. Guthrie, 25. But someone like Brad Close, 19 and 1. He just keeps getting better. 7 tackles as well, led the team as well from that perspective. They just get better. And Max Holmes, I know they keep talking about Max Holmes and his run. I know my club had their eye on him the pick before. So they knew the Tigers were going to get him, weren't going to go for him. We had him.
Yeah.
And then they went with him. So
Aaron Norton, Howard goalless. It's just that's what can happen. This is what peak Geelong looks like. And this is why they've been saying for the last 6 weeks of the season, this is the team to beat. These are the front runners. This is the front running club. This is peak Geelong.
J-Dog, can I ask a question? Why would you not play Alex Keith when you've got Hawkins and Cameron? How could you not fit in your number 1 backman?
Was he injured?
He got dropped.
Just dropped on form?
Dropped. What form? They didn't have any form. They just beat the D's the week before.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the thought was behind.
That was stranger than Jack Silvani getting dropped for Carlton, which made no sense either. But Tom Liberatore, he's had a belter of a season. Ed Richards, both of those guys had 28 touches. Ed Richards is one of these guys that it's taken him a while to solidify his spot, but I can't see him not getting out of that team now. He's one of the bright sparks. I'm not talking about the colour of his red hair either, by the way. He's just playing really, really good football. But isn't it interesting? The saviour comes in, has his match-breaking game, career-breaking game the week before, and we said he probably won't do anything this week. And look at the Hagen. 9 disposals, 2 goals.
Yeah. 2 goals on behind. Yep.
Helps when you're playing against a decent back line.
Hey, Peps.
Yeah, mate.
Pop question for you.
Yeah,
free kick count. Who do you reckon won that?
Oh, Doggies.
They did.
16 to 10. How can the Doggies keep winning the free kick count?
Don't upset the Doggies fan, Peps.
Oh, don't worry. I've already had punch-ons with the Doggies fans already. Unbelievable.
Incredibly close game statistically across the board. Inside 50s, clearances, marks, disposals. They're all incredibly close. It was just the fact that I think I said it the week before on the podcast, but Geelong put that ball in the forward 50 with care, and that makes a difference.
Yeah, they do. They ran it, and it was almost being in the members' pavilion at the MCC, and they just serve you your football on a silver platter. Well, the Doggies have got like 80 free kicks more than they've given away.
Yeah.
Blows my mind when I see that sort of stuff too. But I think the Doggies can still make it, and Geelong, they're going to get a home final. Now, do you think that they should be able to play a home final at their ground? If they were playing Richmond? No. Why not?
Because who owns the league? AFL.
We do.
What do they want? Oh, they do not. They want bums on seats at $65, $70 a pop.
Exactly.
At 75 to 85,000 supporters, they want to be the big ground.
Yeah. Charlie Keegan said this: the high half forwards and midfielders are Geelong underrated. I don't think they're underrated. I think people have watched them play enough now to realise that they're working a lot harder than they have previously.
Yeah.
It's just a matter whether teams are going to be able to work that out and be able to negate that towards the back end of the season. If I was smart, I'd be going after their bottom six.
Yeah.
Because I reckon that's where finals are won, is usually in the bottom six. So if you could target people like Myers, Close, let's swap the page for a second. Henry, Hughes,
Menegola, some of
Guthrie. I reckon if you could target those players, it's going to have to put more pressure on the others to compensate for them. And I reckon that could be their Achilles heel, because you know what you're going to get out of their good ones. And if the good ones are playing good footy, it brings the other ones into it. So if you can negate the smaller brigade, I think you got a chance of beating him, because then that's going to have to put more pressure on your Dangerfields to hit targets. It's going to put more pressure on your Selwoods, etc. And Father Time will eventually catch up. I'm just not too sure when it's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll talk about Father Time. Selwood, 350.
Oh, gold. Gem.
Unreal.
Love it. Hey, J-Dog, did you know that the darling got sunburnt? My little darling got sunburnt on the weekend. The Suns by 3 points over the West Coast Eagles. Tommy Roker will be Chubbs Farquharing as we go into this game. Can I say, and I've said it for weeks, I've said it for years, Took Miller, gun. And you'd have to say, for every game that they win, he would be close to pulling 3 votes, you'd have to say. Could he be their second ever Brownlow medalist?
Yeah, quite easily. Yep.
Noah Anderson, gun. Like, we knew it was coming. He's just getting better every single week. Matt Rowell's been getting his hands on the footy a lot more. Elijah Hollands, I like what I see in there. Isaac Rankin, another cracking game. 3 goals.
Yep.
I just love. But what about the goal? What about the Cholco Suns? 5.
Yeah, that was huge.
I love him. How could Richmond let him go?
No, he didn't want to let him go. He wanted to get more of a game time, and he just couldn't.
Well, they should have kept him and got rid of Jack Rewalt, but no, we're going to keep Jackie. Jared Witts putting himself up for an All-Australian with 35 tap-outs as well,
But you talk about bags, Peps.
Yeah.
Darling kick 6.
Hey, hold on. What are we talking about, Jada? What did you say?
Bags.
You mean this? We love it when the kid. He's keep talking. I'll fix it in a second.
All right, you fix it. I mean, we had Gold Coast. We had Chol kick 5, Rankin kick 3, Roses Jr. kick 2, Sharp 2, and Ainsworth, Anderson, Casbolt, and Holman all got a goal each. For West Coast, Darling kicked 6.
What did he kick?
6 Peps.
6? Does that mean it was a bag? We love it when the kid bag.
If your employer heard you making your own little song samples.
We love it when the kid Jack Darling with 6 bags. Bags. That's going to be played every single time someone kicks a bag.
Yeah.
How good is that? Our bags finally got its own song.
So yeah, as I said,
about that one. I'll be releasing that as a single on iTunes.
The best there were obviously Miller, Anderson, Witts, Rankin, Swallow, and Sharp for Gold Coast, and for West Coast, Darling, Barras, Foley, Hearn, Redden, Kelly. Some of these players are getting around on Zimmer frames between the rounds. Peps, we had one retire today.
They kicked 7 in the last quarter. So did the Gold Coast put the cue in the rack, or did West Coast, were they kicking with a breeze? Were they kicking with a wind? Was it downhill? I don't know, but like they led the inside 50s. They beat them by 17, so they must have 33% more than West Coast. They converted at 59%, which is really high, but then West Coast were converting at 66. So for every 3 times they were winning, they were kicking 2 scores, full stop. It was just awesome to see that last quarter, and I was going, oh, please Gold Coast, please Gold Coast, please Gold Coast. Get this one across the line because I love them. They're almost my second team. I just want them to succeed.
Yeah.
And they did. So you can't fault them. And if I was a Gold Coast supporter, I'd have a pretty big smile on my face right now because they are looking pretty good.
What you said, Tuke Miller. Game high 16 clearances, 21 contested possessions.
And what about Jack Darling?
What about him? I think this is going
bag of sticks.
I know, Peps. I know. We said that. You want to just play your song all the time, don't you?
Oh, you're going to love bags. Tell you what, that's going to go viral. That's going to go viral. Hey, I'll tell you what went viral. Elton John and his song, and I guess why that they call them the Blues, because they lost to the Crows by 29. Geez, they were woeful, weren't they? You reckon they just turned up thinking we've got this one in the bag, shoe in, just turning up, get the 4 points, walk out of there?
Yeah. We're going back to Saturday, aren't we? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I've skipped the game. My fault. But sorry, go for it.
No. I completely agree. Like, once again, the other Blues just having a bit of the old, and all footy season. Peps, you've gone through this yourself, playing footy. August is always the hardest month. July, August, hardest months.
It's not when you know you got something on the line, potential top 4 spot.
But it's colder, Peps.
Missing everything.
It's colder.
That's bullcrap, mate. If your heart's in it, that pumps the heat. And the heat went out of Carlton's game. What a move by throwing Rory Laird onto the back of Adam Saad, negated him completely.
Yeah.
You have a look at the goals for Geelong, for the Blues. Now, normally you'd have Mackay and Curnow dominating. Mackay kicked 1. Curnow kicked 1. So a dominating performance there by the backline side of things. Cripps still had 41 and Walsh had 41. But they don't hurt you.
No.
Neither of them hurt because they got beaten so easily. Brodie Smith, Rory Laird, Jordan Dawson, Chase Jones, all having crackers. Taylor Walker had 21 of his own, kick 3. Ben King had 20. Ben Keiser had 21.
Yeah, Ben
kick 3 of his own as well too. Darcy Fogarty, I don't know if you saw some highlights of Fogarty, but just push. Brute strength, kicking goals. That's what we were seeing a couple of seasons ago. We finally got to see it again.
Ben Keys is basically like the traffic director up there. 11 score involvements, 4 score assists, 3 goals. He was just directing the ball to whoever he wanted to get involved in that chain for a goal. And I don't know, Peps. I don't know. The Blues, they are the shaky ones, but I do think that they are still going to be safe.
I don't think they are.
I know you said that.
They've got too much of a tough run. I think their run, if they lose 2 out of the next 3, they're gone.
Yeah, this one definitely was one that they could look back on.
They penciled them in. They penciled this one in.
I probably agree. They probably took the P155 a bit too much here.
When your top 2 players have 81 disposals between them, yet the inside 50 count was 65 to 47, it means it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't penetrating forward lines. It wasn't setting up their forwards. It was either cheap, no distance, no meters gained disposals, or they just weren't doing anything around the ground, like long kicking, etc.
Yeah.
So even if you have a look, and we'll have a look at this, and the perfect example is they both handball. Both had 23 handballs.
Yeah.
So they're not damaging you with it.
Well, it's been
where you have somebody like Brodie Smith has 37, 28 of those are kicks. He's putting distance on his disposals. The others are just not.
Yeah. Well, Peps, it's probably been...
We've said that a long time about Sam Walsh.
It's been about 6 weeks now since Carlton have had probably a good win. You go, that was actually a good win. Like, it was against Freo way back in June. They've gone down against the Saints. They beat West Coast, which you would have expected. They went down against Carlton and they won against the Giants. And this is an opportunity where really, I think this game is probably one of their worst losses of the season.
Mm. Oh, it was bar none their worst loss, because Adelaide were not setting the world on fire either.
No, they had lost the last 4 games coming into this game.
They were no good. And they were so much better. So much better. All righty. The Tigers. The Tigers just
nothing else to say about this game, Peps?
What's that?
Nothing to say about the Carlton game. You happy with that?
Nah, they were putrid. Move on, because I'll tell you what, if you don't move on quickly like we have against this game, you're not going to be playing finals, and Mad Monday is coming very, very quick. The Tigers just keep tumbling down. Tigers by 7 over Brisbane. Wow, the streak continues. 11 games in a row at the G. They've lost. I think it's 2014 was the last time the Lions won a game at the MCG.
Every Facebook memes were coming in hot after this game about, the no one scares a lion, and then all the Tiger memes and playing at the G and the prelim final losses they've had against the Tigers, and all the memes were coming into Facebook.
Question for you. Who's more disappointing so far looking at it right now, Carlton or Brisbane?
I think they're equal. I mean, I'm probably more impressed with Carlton. I'm probably at we do our net promoter score. Perhaps talk about that in our call-in centre environments.
Yeah.
I think the Brisbane are about a 7 and 8. They've just met target. They haven't exceeded with a 9 and a 10 promoter score. They haven't gone below. They're just 7 and 8. They've reached they're around the top 4, and that's where I expected them to be. Carlton are a 9 and a 10 for me this season.
Oh, bar none. But I just think, another game, like Richmond, there's no Dusty at the moment. Grimes was out early. They're not looking sensational, let's be honest. They're playing okay footy. Shai Bolton has been word that he's the number 1 player in the AFL right now. Good player, let's be honest. But number 1, it's got a few to get through. But what I'll say this is, when I watch him get the ball, wow. He is wow. My eyes get glued to see what is he going to do. But Prestia, the meatball got back onto it as well too. Tommy Lynch kicked 4 junk time goals, but they were junk time Lynch. But with him and Rewalt got them back into the game. But that Noah Cumberland, he's had 5. And after what he did the last couple of weeks, if you remember, was he played on.
Yes.
He should have taken the shot. So he hasn't had a great couple of weeks to come out and kick 5.
Yeah.
Awesome. And his journey hasn't been easy as well too. Been delisted a couple of times. He's got a game with Richmond. They've had a crack and yeah.
But you can't walk away from the fact. You can't walk away from the fact, Peps, that the Lions gave up a 42-point lead in the second quarter.
Mm.
You can't walk away from that. That's pretty bad.
The question just came in, which was asked: who would my number 1 be? And that was from D-Day Donajavanovic.
From which?
Who would your number 1 player in the league be? I'd have to look at it with. The only way you can sort of do is if you line them up against a wall and you had first pick and you wanted someone to lead you into a finals campaign. I would have to say, and from a consistency perspective, I'd go Clayton Oliver.
Okay.
He rarely plays a big game, and you've got to get the ball. But saying that, I'd go probably Jeremy Cameron as well too. He's just a machine.
I'd go Cameron, and I would go Bontempelli, and I would probably go Took Miller.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's got their opinion.
Yeah,
I don't think he's number 1. But don't get me wrong. If he keeps going at the trajectory,
yeah,
he's just gold. Love him. Love him.
Is he the biggest excitement machine in the AFL right now?
Him and Isaac Rankin, I reckon.
Yep.
So get tats. If you want to be an impact player, get tats. All right.
Peps,
Hey, let's get into the last one.
Yeah, I was going to say here with this one here. Will we see Dusty the rest of the season?
No.
No.
He's done.
He's done?
No. Well, if it's going to be Ninthman, then no.
You don't reckon that? You've said that they're not going to come into the 8, didn't you?
No, I said they won't make the finals, and then I said they would, and then I'm now saying that they're not. I just think there's too much to guess. If you got Grimes and Dusty out, that makes it hard for them. That's just too much experience, and I don't think they can overcome that at the moment. Last of the 9 games before we rip into a few things because we're getting into the rapid fire round very, very shortly. Good to see that the Bombers were stringering our supporters along again. Dons by 48 over North. What an absolute tease this might be. And they're doing it for the 4th season in a row. The pressure's off them, and that means that they're going to start dominating. So the false economy is exactly what Essendon are delivering at the moment. No pressure on them whatsoever. They're going to keep winning games. They're playing great footy because they know they're not going to be playing finals. They've done it for the last 4 years. Everybody's going to get sucked in again. 2022 will roll around, and they will fall in a heap again.
Yeah, I mean, what
more do you want me to say?
No, the last 5 games before coming into this, they had wins all but 4 against Eagles way back 6 weeks ago, and the last kick of the game against Collingwood. Mm-hmm. But they had wins across the board against Brisbane, against the Suns, across the Swans. They had one against the Swans, and they lost by 10 points against the Eagles.
So they've beat some pretty good teams.
But they've also beat some very good teams
as well too. Jakey Boys had 5.
Yep.
Do you reckon he'd be their next captain?
No. Would you ever make... No.
Pepper will finish up, and I'll get into that very, very shortly because we've got to rip through trades and splash and cash in and all that stuff.
I don't know who I'd make captain at Essendon, to be completely honest with you. I would have... No, I don't know. I don't know who I'd make captain. I spoke to
supporters on Sunday, and they do not want Zach Merritt as captain.
Well, how can you do it? How could you put he or Sheila as your captain? Either. Couldn't do it.
Mason Redmond, the name was thrown around a bit. He sort of surprised me so far this year. He's got better. Like one of those names that you'd be like, really? Got to get rid of that man bun, and then he'll be cherry ripe. North, were they disappointing? I don't know. They could only do what they could only do.
They were North.
They were North. They didn't dominate. Josh Simpkin got his hands on the ball. Jaden Stevenson got his hands on the ball a little bit more. The hyphen, Davies, Uniac, etc. From a goals perspective, Zerha was good again. I reckon he's gettable. Yeah. Someone offered North early first rounder for Zerha and probably something in return. I probably reckon they'd take him.
Josh Simpkin's having a bit of a hell of a back end of the season.
He is, isn't he? He's very. But they knew that was going to come. He is a gun. He is a gun, but
he's good.
Yeah, there's some names there down towards the bottom that they just got too many young kids. It's just going to be tough for them. There's not much you can do with North. If you were Clarkson, would you go to GWS or North?
Who's paying my salary?
Doesn't matter who's paying it.
Look at you, the Melbourne guy getting all defensive.
Go by. Who would you go, North or would you go to GWS?
Jesus. I would probably go to North.
I'd agree. I
think that
there's more upside.
They're two, and I don't want to upset supporters here, Peps. I know the show's coming to an end. They're two pretty irrelevant clubs in their respective towns.
All right. J-Dog. All right, we're going to punch through these, big boy. We're going to punch through these. All right, let's get into some spin and some magnets time. All right, really quickly, let me go through the
3 votes.
All right, 3 votes. Really good. Bags. Hold on. I'm not going to play it again. Jack Darling, 7. Can't ask for much more than that. We spoke about the perfect 10, the Pies and the Cats. Exciting. Joel Selwood, 350 games. Class act. 16 other clubs would love to have him as captain.
Yep.
Melbourne, no, we've got Gorney. This season ain't over by a long way. 3 games to go, and the top 4, 8, and the draft pick for number 1 are still not needed. Are still not locked in. I love Mark McVeigh's honesty in the way that the Giants played and his feelings towards the playing group. Not enough coaches say it like it needs to be, and it was refreshing to see. And Josh Kennedy, Stephen Motlop, and David Mundy all calling time on their careers. Great servants across the board. Josh Kennedy, remember, came across with the Judd draft, the Judd trade. Motlop's obviously been serviceable over in Port Adelaide as well too, and David Mundy, absolute gun of the AFL, top 10 in all games played, I believe it is too. So can't ask for much more than that, my friend. So good luck to those guys. When we have a look, unfortunately, we have to look at the
Haley off Ellingworth on. Bloody weakest piss.
All right, head-high contact, J-Dog. What the hell's going on there? All right. A week ago, I praised it. A week later, I'm confused. The change in interpretation is not making it easy for anybody, and especially the players. I saw Ginnivan's head end up in the Bay 37B snack bar on the weekend.
Yeah.
Not paying it. So it's getting a bit beyond the joke, all right? They've just made it harder. It is not easier. Brisbane at the G, we've spoken about it. But Fagan said it wasn't an issue. My friends, it is an issue. Full stop. Essendon, adding fuel to the false economy. They've been doing it and they've been investing in it since 2019. Are they happy with the way things are playing right now? Are they happy with the way that things are going? I think they're pretty content. If I was a supporter or a member, I'd be pretty pissed off. Jay Cully from West Coast. Lucky it was only 2 weeks and Noah Anderson got up. In the days of self-regulation, you may have been met with a similar response, but a lot worse of a result, a.k.a. you would have had a broken jaw, Reece Jones style. And Tom Hawkins, my God, you missed from 15 metres with a Joe the Goose, okay? It's just proving that he is human after all. All righty. Hey, J-Dog, can I borrow $5?
No.
Well, too bad because...
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Bling, bling, dollar bills, dollar
Bling, bling, bling.
That's all I just love the bling, bling, dollar bills. All right, let's go through the trade news really quickly. All right, Angus Brayshaw signs for 6 years at the D's, taking the 2028. Very, very happy with that. But he was going to Fremantle, according to all the media sources. They knew what was going on. Suck balls. You got that one wrong. Liam Baker signs for the Tigers for 2 more years. He was going to West Coast media, was saying, suck balls. Got that one wrong as well too. I think he's their next captain. Taylor Walker gets another year at the Crows. Jordan Ngoe to the Saints. The question has been asked. That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
I would.
Well, haven't they learned? Will this club ever learn? All right. Apparently everybody is going to the Suns. Tommy Roker said Heppel is going to the Suns. He has said that who else is going to the Suns? The Bont is going to the Suns. Bolton's going to the Suns. Ben Keys is going to the Suns. Everybody's going to the Suns. Nathan Wilson is going to the Suns.
Tommy Roker, can you organise me to go to the
Venus, they were all going to the Suns as well.
Can you organise me to go to the Suns, please? I'd like to get...
Buddy's going to the Suns. J-Dog and I, give us a pay rise. We'll go to the Suns. Dyson Heppel. The Suns have asked the questions about Dyson Heppel. Liam Jones to the Dogs. Carlton to get Compo. It's an interesting one. Hopper and Taranto looking like they are out the door due to the cap squeeze at GWS.
Who is the cap? Who's got the cap? At that club, who is it?
Kelly, Whitfield, Cornelio.
Oh, that's right. 3 years ago.
Green.
Yep.
Exactly right. And it's going to bite him in the ass. Matt Crouch dropped again. Could he be on the move?
He's definitely on the move.
Stevie Nicks says no. It's just one of those things. I don't believe that for a moment. Liam Jones is at the Suns. He wants to go to and Carl Amon to the Hawks on a 5-year deal. J-Dog is like cha-ching, cha-ching, dollar bill for the compo pick right there.
Yep.
Hey, J-Dog, we had a rising star for round 20. Tell us who it was.
I don't know who it was. You got the notes.
Okay, well, good to see that you prepped for tonight. Dynamic Richmond forward Noah Cumberland is the round 20 AFL Rising Star nominee for, like I said, round 20. Dominated on the weekend. He is a Queenslander. Excitement machine up there for forward for Richmond. Kicked 5 on the weekend. He's had a couple of challenging weeks on the field. Came out, dominated. Can't ask more than that. Mac Andrew was not robbed. He kicked 5. You robbed us, Gold Coast, by taking Mac Andrew, but that's another story for another day.
We're all playing in a simulation of day cost, though.
Yeah, everybody's just turning up for the free meal at Crown because Josh Dacos has got it in the bag. All right, J-Dog, 1 week at a time, my friend. What game are you looking forward to this week?
Are there top 4 teams playing each other this week?
Yes. So Melbourne and Collingwood are playing Friday.
That is going to be worth it. I'm actually Peps. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do a bit of a corporate gig on Saturday.
What?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Going down to the shithole in Cardinia.
Oh, in the corporate box?
Yeah. Got a little ticket.
Who from? From work?
Just from a really good mate. Just from a school mate.
Oh, J-Dog, hoity-toitying up there, my friend. Oh, Prairie House Cross Jr., born and bred to Gold Coast, robbed. Big deal, Tommy. You've taken everything. You took all the draft picks many, many years ago. You took all the plays. You stole Ablett from Geelong. What more do you need?
I might put on the RM Williams, Peps, just the standard.
Oh, yeah, and you're putting on your Stetson as well, too, and go, yeehaw.
Okay, so for me, Peps, I think Friday night really is probably the clash of the round and interest.
I'm actually looking at a couple other games as well, too.
Yeah. What do you care
Western
about?
Bulldogs Freo at Marvel.
You don't care about
Saturday
that.
afternoon. I do, because Bulldogs still need to keep winning to make it. And Freo need to keep winning to potentially lock in that top 4. So that's going to be another 8-pointer.
Who are Carlton playing?
Carlton are playing Brisbane in Brisbane.
That's a good game.
Ooh, so they play Brisbane, Melbourne, Collingwood last 3 rounds.
Yeah, not easy.
Yeah, not easy. And I'm actually looking forward to Port and Richmond.
Well, that's good because my
That's
brother.
the battle for ninth.
I think we're at the 9th race. I think we're going to finish 12th.
It is ninth. Hey, that's it for the episode. Cracker. Like we've hit the over hour mark. We're in the overtime. We've gone golden point, golden goal. If we're talking,
any comments in there, Peps? Any question you want to answer in the comments?
Everybody else is going. Bailey Scott back to the Suns. Tommy Roker has set it apart. Suns to murder the Hawks. Jules Julio's going Melbourne versus the Pies. It's just gone absolutely nuts. Dusty's going to GWS.
We miss you, Tommy, not on here. You make us
Tommy,
laugh.
we love a bit of Tommy. He wasn't there for a couple of weeks, but be old Tommy Roker. Get on his Facebook page. He is Gold Coast. Tommy, you're a knob. D's to miss top 4. If you're right, you're right. So be it. If they win this week, will they still miss the 4? Wait for the response. If Melbourne lose this week to Collingwood, will they still make the top 4?
I do love all this. Who else is in here? We've got some funny ones.
Well, that means it's the end of the show. So, J-Dog, remember, subscribe, everything to Lace Out. Tell your friends, tell your mother, take your auntie to the footy. Everybody likes Lace Out, Tip and Woody. More importantly, J-Dog, absolutely amazing. People in the chat, you're absolutely amazing. Lace Outlaws out there, absolutely amazing.
Tom gave your answer.
Pretty good. Tommy Roker said no. Tommy Roker's been banned. All right, J-Dog, that's it. That's your round 20 review. I'm Chris Pepper. Co-host with the most is Jamie the J-Dog Wallis. And as everybody, you type this into the chat, type it into your comments, get it tattooed on your forearm, because I've got you one question and one question only, which is, big boy Lace Outlaws and everybody out there in podcast land, how do you want your footy?
I want it to Lace Out. And Donna, good luck to you as well for this week, game.
All right. Love yous all. Have a great week and go D's. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of Lace Out. Head over to iTunes and Spotify to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. And remember, join us every single Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, on our Facebook page with yours truly, Christopher Pepper, and the co-host with the most, Jamie Wallis, giving you your footy how you want it. Lace Out.